This presentation of the State Class B Baseball Tournament is brought to you by American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep, Star City Golf Course of Elva, Stevens Grain Cleaning and Seed Sales of Glenburn, Homesteaders Restaurant, Fibeto Orthodontics, Western Agency, S&J Hardware of Garrison, Chase Pharmacy of Garrison, Henson's Fur and Leather, West Inksters Realty, Garrison Insurance, Kurt Unland Company, Planet Pizza, Tires Plus, and Don Bissett Motors.
28 on the shot clock, 53 on the game clock, sends it inside. Here's Allie Nelson to the right side. Cheddar's open, 4-3, on low, she scores!
PSP Network has one mission: promoting our local athletes while delivering pro-quality broadcast coverage. Stay up to date with the PSP Network on Twitter, @NetworkPSP, and on Facebook, @The PSP Network. Like and follow our social media for your chance to win. PSP Network, it's game day.
Premier Movement of Minot is now open. It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
Is knocking the deals out of the ballpark. Now is the best time to trade in and trade up. We are urgently looking for good used vehicles and are giving top dollar on local trades. We sale priced our vehicles to move inventory fast, and financing rates have never been better. So don't strike out at another dealer. Get a home run deal at Don Bissett Motors on top of Minot's North Hill. Remember, we deliver.
The top 8 teams of the state of North Dakota have gathered for the 2020 Class B State Baseball Championships here in Minot, North Dakota at legendary Corbett Field. This afternoon we open tournament play as LaMoure takes on Hazen here on the PSP Network. Nick Holberg, glad to have you aboard here on the PSP Network as we get geared up for this matchup, as LaMoure comes in with a 20-10 record representing District number 7 in State B baseball here this year. It's the Hazen Astros with an overall record of 28-5. They represent District number 1. Those two teams are the first two that lock horns here today on the PSP Network. We'll have coverage of the entire tournament here on the PSP Network. LaMoure and Hazen here at 12:30, followed by Thompson, the defending champions of Legion Baseball on the Class B side for the Summer Series. They'll play Renville County at 3 p.m. Langdon and Velva play in the first game of the nightcap. That's at 5:30, followed by Kidder County and Garrison tonight at 8 p.m. Official introductions are taking place here at legendary Corbett Field. We'll take a step aside, hear from all the sponsors that make our broadcast possible here on the PSP Network. Then we'll come back with our opening pitch today. Hazen and LaMoure go toe-to-toe. Game number 1 here at the State B Tournament on the PSP Network.
This presentation of the State Class B Baseball Tournament is brought to you by American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep, Star City Golf Course of Elva, Stevens Grain Cleaning and Seed Sales of Glenburn, Homesteaders Restaurant, Fibeto Orthodontics, Western Agency, S&J Hardware of Garrison, Chase Pharmacy of Garrison, Henson's Fur and Leather, West Inksters Realty, Garrison Insurance, Kurt Unland Company, Planet Pizza, Tires Plus, and Don Bissett Motors.
Systems go for lunch. When supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an
knocking the deals out of the ballpark. Now is the best time to trade in and trade up. We are urgently looking for good used vehicles and are giving top dollar on local trades. We sale priced our vehicles to move inventory fast, and financing rates have never been better. So don't strike out at another dealer. Get a home run deal at Don Bissett Motors on top of Minot's North Hill. Remember, we deliver.
Deontay Martinez dribble drive, moves it to the hoop. Oh, what a move! PSP Network has one mission: promoting our local athletes while delivering pro-quality broadcast coverage. Stay up to date with the PSP Network on Twitter @NetworkPSP and on Facebook @The PSP Network. Like and follow our social media for your chance to win. PSP Network. It's game day. This presentation of the State Class B Baseball Tournament is brought to you by American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep, Star City Golf Course of Elva, Stevens Grain Cleaning and Seed Sales of Glenburn, Homesteaders Restaurant, Vibeto Orthodontics, Western Agency, S&J Hardware of Garrison, Chase Pharmacy of Garrison, Henson's Fur and Leather, West Inksters Realty, Garrison Insurance, Kurt Unland Company, Planet Pizza, Tires Plus, and Don Bissett Motors.
Systems go for lunch break when supper time's up. Crunch you. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us.
Knocking the deals out of the ballpark. Now is the best time to trade in and trade up. We are urgently looking for good used vehicles and are giving top dollar on local trades. We sale priced our vehicles to move inventory fast, and financing rates have never been better. So don't strike out at another dealer. Get a home run deal at Don Bissett Motors on top of Minot's North Hill. Remember, we deliver.
God bless our servicemen and women. God bless our veterans. God bless America. Day number 1 of the State B Baseball Tournament, the Independent League here this summer for North Dakota High School Baseball. Nick Colbert, glad to have you aboard here on the PSP Network as we get geared up and ready for game number 1 today. The official introductions have taken place. We salute our country with the playing of the national anthem And then there's a conversation behind the dish with the home plate umpire, Dean Winchesky, meeting up with the head coaches, J.R. Thilgis of LaMoure and Hazen's head coach, Nate Leitz. They get together and have their conversation. Everybody gets the instructions, and we're just about set for baseball here today. LaMoure takes the field. They're in yellow uniforms. They will be the home team today. They're trimmed out in green, along with a little bit of white down the uniforms. Hazen's in green and yellow as well. They'll be in the white uniforms. They're going to be the visiting team on the scoreboard for the matchup today here at legendary Corbett Field. Alex Cleaver will DH and bat first for LaMoure. Jace Hansen, the center fielder, will bat second. Corbin Potts playing shortstop here today. He will bat third. Mac Bierman's on the hill for LaMoure. He bats fourth. Landon Peel is the first baseman, batting fifth. Catching today for LaMoure is Garrett Hebel. He bats sixth. Rory Genskow is the second baseman, batting seventh. The right fielder, Dalton Madkey, bats eighth. Then James Sadness, the left fielder, will bat ninth for LaMoure. For the Hazen Astros, they will start this way with Isaac Zoll, the catcher, batting first. Hunter Keller, the shortstop, batting second. Landon Saylor, the pitcher, will bat third. Austin Martell playing third base and cleaning up. Garrett Ward's the first baseman. He bats fifth. Dawson Bruner, the left fielder, bats sixth. Mason Wick, the second baseman, bats seventh. Batting eighth is Levi Zempel, the right fielder. And rounding out the order, Braden Schneider, the center fielder, will bat number 9 for the Hazen Astros. Number 1 out of District Number 1 here in 2020. They went 28-5 entering the state tournament here this year at legendary Corbett Field. LaMoure, on the other hand, representing District Number 7, they went 20-10 in their 2020 campaign. These two teams get together for the first time this year, and we're set for baseball. And the State B tournament that kicks off now here on the PSP Network. Certainly glad you're joining us here today for state tournament coverage on the PSP Network. Nick Holberg here for the calls. We put a cap on the Planet Pizza pregame show. Planet Pizza, truly out of this world. Try their chicken wings, breadsticks, or their legendary pizza. In for a strike, gets strike number 1. Delivering there was Mac Bierman. Back to the catcher, Hebel. Strike number 1 delivered at 12:28 here this afternoon. 82 degrees. The time of the first pitch temperature as well. This one, chipped by Isaac Dahl over to first. He's going to get there in time, and Dahl will reach first base on the air. That will be charged to LaMoure's second baseman, number 13, Genskow. He bobbled the baseball as he came up. He went to toss it over to first, and an E will be charged to number 4. And reaching on the air is Isaac Dahl at first base. Brings up Hunter Keller, the shortstop. Keller steps in, chipped right back over towards second. Again bobbling the baseball, throwing to first, this time committing the out. And Genskow having trouble at second base. Will they charge him with another error at second? He gets the force out over at first, but that was a tailor-made double play ball. They don't charge him with the error. They just say that the bumbled baseball was part of making the play. Still deliver the out at first. Could have been a double play. Runner at second here for Hazen. That ball down in the dirt. Nice job by Hebel. He makes the block. And the count moves to 1-0. Here as the number 3 batter, Landon Saylor, who's also the pitcher for Hazen, steps in against the 1-0 pitch. One down. Top half of the first inning. State B baseball coverage here on the PSP Network. Couldn't be happier to be here. This one outside the zone. Dean Winchesky, the home plate umpire, had the same view. He missed. 2-0 the count here with one down. Jacob Holman along with Chase Lee are the other umpires today here at legendary Corbett Field. The windup and the pitch. That one high and inside. And the count moves to 3-0. Landon Saylor sitting on the 3-0 pitch coming his way. Coming set is Mac Bierman. The windup and the pitch. Bierman delivers. That one's right down Broadway. Had some steam on it. And strike number 1 registered here against Saylor. Well, legendary Corbett Field doesn't have the radar gun. Has some of the other outfields and ballparks around the state of North Dakota. Old school swing and a miss. Strike number 2. As Landon Saylor reached for that one with the very heavy cut to the count comes full. No radar gun here at legendary Corbett Field, but we know that they're buzzing for Mac Bierman right now. Here's the payoff pitch. This one chopped over towards third. Peterson gloves it, throws across the diamond in time, and retired is Saylor for the second out here in the top half of the first. That will bring up the third baseman, Austin Martell, playing third base here for the Hazen Astros. Game number 1 here at the state tournament. Coverage on the PSP Network brought to you by our good friends at American Family Insurance Agency, Mike Lucy and Randy Shep. Star City Golf Course, Stevens Grain, and Seed Sales of Glenburn, and a handful of others. We thank them for bringing you state tournament coverage here on the PSP Network. 0-1 the count. Here to Austin Martell, the cleanup batter and the third baseman. That one missed the strike zone low for ball number 1, 1-1. Well, Mac Bierman was warming up before the baseball game today, having a conversation with the LaMoure coach. Here's going to be a throwdown over to third. That ball rocketed from home plate from Hemmel, but the stolen base will be on there from Isaac Zoll, and Dahl moves himself into scoring position on the stolen base. Here with the 1-1 count with 2 down. Making a 2-1 count. That last one was in for a ball, as Austin Martell will face the 2-1 pitch. Outside, hit the corner for strike number 2. Deuces across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top half of inning number 1. Hazen pressuring with Martell, trying to bring a run around to score. Struck him out. K number 1 goes to Mac Bierman as he sits down Martell here in the top half of the first. No runs, no hits. 1 air charge to LaMoure, and at the end of a half inning played, we've got a ball game on our hands. 0-0 here from legendary Corbett Field. It's state tournament coverage of the state meet here on the PSP Network.
This presentation of the state Class B baseball tournament is brought to you by American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep, Star City Golf Course of Elva, Stevens Grain Cleaning and Seed Sales of Glenburn, Homesteaders Restaurant, Fibeto Orthodontics, Western Agency, S&J Hardware of Garrison, Chase Pharmacy of Garrison, Henson's Fur and Leather, West Inksters Realty, Garrison Insurance, Kurt Unland Company, Planet Pizza, Tires Plus, and Don Bissett Motors.
No runs on no hits. 1 air charge to LaMoure in the top half of the first inning. And we've got a 0-0 ball game here at legendary Corbett Field as we enter the bottom half of the first inning, as the LaMoure bats will come to the plate for the first time in game number 1 here at the state tournament. On the hill, Landon Saylor for Hazen. He'll toss to the catcher, Isaac Dahl. Dahl got all the way over to third base and was stranded. He reached on the error to the second baseman, Genskow, the top half of the first inning. Catching here today. Once again, the batting lineup for LaMoure. Alex Kluver, the DH, followed by Jace Hansen, the center fielder, Corbin Potts, the shortstop. Mac Bierman, the pitcher. Landon Peel, the first baseman. Garrett Hebel, the catcher, bats 6th. Genskow bats 7th, the second baseman. Badkey and Sandus. That's how they line them up here for LaMoure. Game number 1. Beautiful day for baseball. We do have some overcast now here at legendary Corbett Field, which could mean some rain in the forecast later today. Here's pitch number 1, down and away for ball 1. Well, LaMoure just won the state Babe Ruth Championship Wednesday. This is a baseball team that has certainly done a good job with their tradition in LaMoure. Ball's going to come right over in front of the LaMoure dugout, and the catcher collides with the first baseman. And Dahl and Ward have a miscommunication there. They run right into each other, and the baseball's dropped. It will be ball number 1. State tournament coverage here on the PSP Network. Again, brought to you by all those fine sponsors that you hear each and every time we head to a break. We want to thank all of those sponsors once again for helping us get here, including Homesteaders, Fibeto Orthodontics, Western Agency, S&J Hardware, Chase Pharmacy, Henson's Fur and Leather, Garrison Insurance and Kurt Udling Company. This ball is going to be towered up over on the first base line, heading foul, and it goes out into no man's land. Well, one of the trademarks of legendary Corbett Field is the trains that will pass through in the valley here in the Magic City. Canadian Pacific doing its job here today. Be able to see it on the screen in just a moment when it rolls by over the White House. You can see through the trees. 1-2 pitch. Delivered to Kluber, and Kluber falls that one back. Well, the Canadian Pacific making itself known to the pedestrians and drivers. There you can see it right underneath the American flag at center. Train. A 1-2 pitch coming. This ball will be fouled back again, and Alex Kleber, the DH, having an excellent at-bat. Here's the windup of the pitch. This ball from Kleber is going to be sent high and foul again. How about the at-bat here for Alex Kleber, the DH? Pitch count moves to 2-2. Hazen scored no runs. They had no hits in the top half of the first. LaMoure, the home team, here in the bottom half of the first inning. This ball delivered in. Kleber sends it foul again. Landon Saylor getting to work out here. Kleber sees the 2-2 pitch coming. Delivered, and ball number 3 registered there as that one down and away from Landon Saylor. Saylor comes set. He'll face Kleber again. Big at bat here to lead things off for LaMoure. Ball's going to be chopped over towards Wick. He's going to deliver towards first. Ward's got it. And the first stop of the bottom half of the first inning belongs to Alex Kleber. Jace Hansen, the center fielder, comes up next. He bats from the left side of the home plate dish. Isaac Dahl, the catcher, here for Hazen, taking just a moment. He needs to adjust the catching pad of the left leg, so he takes just a quick second to do so. With one down, Jace Hansen steps in here for LaMoure. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss and a heavy cut there as Jace Hansen fans the first one. 0-1 pitch coming from Landon Saylor. Nobody on, 0-0 ball game. This one's going to be rocketed out towards right. It finds the gap. It's picked up by Zempel. And Zempel fires in as Jace Hansen reaches first on the single. That brings up Corbin Potts, the shortstop. He'll bat from the right side of the dish. Taller player wearing number 10 here for LaMoure. Coming set is Saylor, the windup and the pitch. That one missed just outside for ball number 1. Well, Alex Kleber off to Valley City State University. Mac Bierman, the pitcher, off to BSC. And Jace Hansen off to the University of Jamestown. This LaMoure team has some guys that will go on to play some college baseball and some studs at that. Fouled away 1-1. One out here for Hazen. Bottom half of the first. Overcast day here at legendary Corbett Field, but there's no wind to speak of. Runner's going to go. Swing and a miss. Ball's tossed down to second. And on the throwdown, not in time from Isaac Dahl. But the second strike is registered. Here to Corbin Potts, the shortstop. 1-2 pitch coming here with one down. Runner on second base on the stolen base from Jace Hansen. Here's the windup from Saylor coming. Takes a look back, the windup of the pitch. This one rocketed right back up the middle. Goes off the glove. Drop down, throw it over towards first. Not in time. Will there be an error charged here to Hazen, or is that going to be a hit registered in the books? Corbin Potts gets over to first base. They don't mark it an error. Say the baseball was hit well enough where that error would not be put into the books. So with runners on first and second, Mac Bierman comes up. Batting in the cleanup spot, and Bierman steps in on the right side of the baseball plate. Here's the windup and the pitch. Bierman chopped at it. It would foul, so the count moves to 0-1. Landon Saylor here on the hill for Hazen. If you're just joining us here this afternoon from legendary Corbett Field, it's game number 1 of the State B tournament. Here on the PSP Network, we'll have the whole first round action. Baseball's going to get past the catcher, Isaac Dahl. Runners advance to first, from first and second to second and third. And around comes Jace Hansen at third now, and Corbin Potts moves to second as Mac Bierman has a 1-1 count, to that baseball got underneath the shin pads of Isaac Dahl, rolled all the way to the back fence behind home plate. 1-1 pitch coming. One down, bottom half of the first. This ball is going to be towered up but foul over towards the zoo. If you hear a lion roar, we'll know why. The only knock on legendary Corbett Field is the parking situation. The parking lot positioned right behind home plate, which can mean plenty of foul balls causing trouble. Reaching for it, Bierman fouled another one back. 1-2 now the count. Special thanks again to our good friends at Homesteaders here in the Magic City. If you're looking for breakfast, dinner, or lunch, that place is fantastic. Highly recommend Homesteaders for breakfast. It is outstanding. Homesteaders located on Highway 2 as you head west of the Magic City. If you're looking for breakfast well in town for the State B, head on over to Homesteaders. The 1-2 pitch coming. Here it comes, and it's high and inside. Bierman thought about it. Some of the Hazen faithful thought maybe that one was a strike, but it's a 2-2 count now. Saylor taking the call from Dahl. Here's the windup and the pitch. Struck him out. First strikeout of the ball game there for Landon Saylor, and he got the big man Mac Bierman to swing and heavy at it. He missed. 2 down. That brings up the first baseman, Landon Peel. Peel also batting from the right side of the home plate. Saylor delivers in, but for ball number 1. Hazen didn't register a hit in the top half of the first. LaMoure registering 2 here in the bottom half. 2-0 count coming down to Landon Peel. Well, LaMoure with a 20-10 record, representing district number 7 as the top spot. Looking to stamp a state championship to their name here for Class B baseball here in such an odd year, 2020. That one hit the corner for strike 1, 2-1. 2-1 pitch from Saylor. Down and into the turf. And the count moves to 3-1. Dean Winchesky behind the dish. He's the head coach of the Mountain High boys basketball team here in the Magic City. Jack of all trades. He's got a handful of state championships on the hardwood to his name. High and inside, and walking is Landon Peel over to first. That will bring up the catcher, number 22, Garrett Hebel. Hebel will step in again on the right side, wearing number 22. LaMoure's in those yellow jerseys here today with the green trim. Hazen in white with yellow and green trim as well. Here's the windup of the pitch. Comebacker right back up. And look out, that thing was a howitzer. Came right back at Saylor, and Saylor caught it. He had to lean back, and he caught that thing right at the belly button. That was a rocket back his way. Third out of the bottom half of inning number 1 belonged to Garrett Hebel. No runs on 2 hits. No Hazen errors in the bottom half of the first. We got a 0-0 ball game at the end of 1 inning complete. State Class B tournament coverage is here on the PSP Network.
This presentation of the State Class B baseball tournament is brought to you by American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep, Star City Golf Course of Elva, Stevens Grain Cleaning and Seed Sales of Glenburn. Homesteaders Restaurant. Vibeto Orthodontics. Western Agency. S&J Hardware of Garrison. Chase Pharmacy of Garrison. Henson's Fur and Leather. West Inksters Realty. Garrison Insurance. Kurt Unland Company. Planet Pizza. Tires Plus. And Don Bissett Motors.
Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza.
Zeros on the board from legendary Corbett Field in game number 1 after 1 inning of play here with Hazen and LaMoure in the quarterfinals of the State Class B baseball tournament. At bat for Hazen, Garrett Ward, the first baseman, followed by Bruner and Wick is the lineup as the ball fired in from Mac Bierman with a 1-1 count. Bierman shakes off the call from Hebel. Here's the windup now on the pitch on the heavy kick. And that one down and away for ball number 2, 2-1. 2-1 pitch coming here to to Garrett Ward, the first baseman. Swing and a heavy miss there. 2-2 now the count as that one burned by Garrett Ward. Well, Hazen coming out of district number 1, went 28-5 this year. This one fouled back here by Garrett Ward. Interestingly enough, when you look at Hazen and the name Hazen, you always think of Beulah with them when you think about sports at times, especially in baseball, but they broke away from each other. That one caught the outside corner, second strikeout in a row for Bierman. First out of the top half of the second as Garrett Ward sat down looking. Left fielder Dawson Bruner comes out for his first at-bat to the ball game. 2010 is when Hazen and Beulah broke away from each other for Legion Baseball in the summertime. Bruner sees strike number 1, the 0-1 pitch coming. They broke apart in 2010. Since then, both towns have had plenty of success on the diamond. Beulah and Hazen as well. Beulah was the runner-up in 2016. State champs back in 2012. High school Legion ball, both very powerful for Beulah and Hazen also. Swing and a miss. Strike number 3 of the ball game, third in a row as Dawson Bruner had the heavy cut in Bierman. Said sit on down. 2 down here for Hazen. Top half of the second as Mac Bierman starting to fire the heat. This time the ball will be sent right over to the second baseman off the baseball bat of Mason Wick. And the third out of the bottom half of the second went right into the glove of Genskow. He redeems himself from the first inning. No runs out, no hits, no errors to report. 3 up, 3 down for Hazen. Top half of the second. Let's go to the bottom half. LaMoure comes back to bat. It's State B tournament coverage here on the PSP Network.
This presentation of the State Class B baseball tournament is brought to you by American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep, Star City Golf Course of Elva, Stevens Grain Cleaning and Seed Sales of Glenburn, Homesteaders Restaurant, Vibeto Orthodontics, Western Agency, S&J Hardware of Garrison, Chase Pharmacy of Garrison, Henson's Fur and Leather, West Inksters Realty, Garrison Insurance, Kurt Unland Company, Planet Pizza, Tires Plus, and Don Bissett Motors.
Don Bissett Motors is knocking the deals out of the ballpark. Now is the best time to trade in and trade up. We are urgently looking for good used vehicles and are giving top dollar on local trades. We sale priced our vehicles to move inventory fast, and financing rates have never been better. So don't strike out at another dealer. Get a home run deal at Don Bissett Motors on top of Minot's North Hill. Remember, we deliver.
Bottom half of the second inning is underway with the first pitch delivered in from Saylor. Just missed the corner for ball number 1 as he faces Rory Genskow, the second baseman, for the first time here in the ballgame. 0-0 the score after 1.5 innings complete here in the Magic City. We're at legendary Corbett Field for the State Meet Tournament. It's LaMoure in yellow, it's Hazen in white. Hazen on defense here as that one's inside from Saylor for ball number 3 as he faces Rory Genskow, the second baseman. 3-0 pitch coming. Saylor will deliver. He hits the strike zone that time. That was a free one coming there as Rory Genskow takes a look. 3-1 pitch coming now to Genskow. This ball will be rocketed back out towards center. Schneider tracking it. Schneider's got it in the glove. And there's one down here in the bottom half of the second. Dalton Madke comes up next, the right fielder. Madke batting from the right side of the plate. His first plate appearance here in the ballgame. Sadness comes up next, and then we go back to the top of the order for LaMoure. This ball's going to be poked out towards right. Tracking it, Zempel almost had it. He went to the warning track, and the ball fell right in front of him, and it ends up foul for the first strike of this at-bat here for Dalton Madke. Just wrapped up the Bonnet Vista season on the PSP Network. The AA team here in the Magic City. We covered them at the state tournament down in Bismarck. Have an update to the state AA tournament as this one continues. As that one fired in for a strike. Madke now with the 0-2 count facing him. Landon Schneider trying to ring him up here. Here's the lineup from Schneider, and the pitch struck him out. Second strikeout of the ball game here for Landon Schneider, and that one was a heater. Saylor's got two strikeouts here in the ballgame. He now faces the number 9 batter, James Sansness, and he fires in for strike number 1. Well, Saylor finding the strike zone here now in the bottom half of the second. He has for this entire ball game. He's going to fire again. This ball is going to be hammered out towards left. Bruner tracking, and Bruner 35 feet off the wall completes out number 3, and that's how we end the second inning. No runs, no hits to report for LaMoure in the second. No errors for Hazen, and we've got a 0-0 ball game after 2 innings complete. State tournament coverage here on the PSP Network.
This presentation of the State Class B Baseball Tournament is brought to you by American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep, Star City Golf Course of Elva, Stevens Grain Cleaning and Seed Sales of Glenburg, Homesteaders Restaurant, Vibeto Orthodontics, Western Agency, S&J Hardware of Garrison, Chase Pharmacy of Garrison, Henson's Fur and Leather, West Inksters Realty, Garrison Insurance, Kurt Unland Company, Planet Pizza, Tires Plus, and Don Bassett Motors.
An offensive duel here in game number 1 at the State Class B Tournament in the Magic City. LaMoure and Hazen deadlocked after 2 full innings. Still a 0-0 ball game. Nick Colbert, glad to have you aboard here on the PSP Network for game number 1 here at the State B. First pitch of the top half of the third. Fired into Hazen's Levi Zempel, the right fielder, who bats first here in the top half. Dean Winchesky comes out to Mac Bierman, the pitcher, at the hill. Winchesky's going to have a conversation with Bierman. Nothing but smiles from Winchesky as he walks back. Hazen batter Levi Zempel will step back in to the batting box. Well, legendary Corbett Field took a beating in 2011 when the flood happened here of the Source River. This ball's going to be chopped back up over towards second. Grabbing it, Ganskow fires. Oh, he got him out at dead first. Hazen fans didn't like that one. They thought that Zempel was safe, but it was Ganskow that got there in time with the throw from second. High chopper over the head of the pitcher, ended up in the glove of Ganskow. He made the play on first base. That brings up Brandon Schneider, the center fielder. Schneider will see pitch number 1 in for a ball. So after 2011, they had a hard time putting the infield and outfield back together the way that it was for so many years. Swing and a miss and a heavy cut there as Brandon Schneider misses for strike 1. Count moves to 1-1. Mac Bierman still on the hill. He'll fire again. This one's going to be tipped, and then it went foul over the head of Dean Winchesky, the home plate umpire. So after the flood of 2011, the grounds crew, Mike Littler and his staff here at legendary Corbett Field, tried to do everything they could, but they just had so many soft spots in the outfield that it was decided that the turf would be put in. Strike number 3 delivered there as Brandon Schneider is sat down, and for the 4th strike in the ball game, strike out in the ball game, that is, Mac Bierman continues to roll. Bierman's seen 9 batters. He's struck 4 of them out. We go back to the top of the order here with Isaac Dahl. And Dahl will see ball number 1. The beauty of the turf here at legendary Corbett Field is that if there is rain, the issue becomes how much time until the field dries up. Well, with the turf here in Minot, you end up with about a 20-minute rain delay after torrential downpour, basically. So the beauty of high school baseball, summer baseball, especially in North Dakota, you have the opportunity to play it pretty much at any time. The snow on the field, you just sweep it right off, and off you go. The 2-1 pitch coming here to the leadoff batter, Isaac Dahl. He reached out an error in the first inning. Fouls that one back. And the count moves to 2-2. 2 down, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Second plate appearance for Isaac Dahl. Here's the windup from Bierman. Missed the strike zone. Some of the fans thought that was strikeout number 5 here in the ball game. He missed. The payoff pitch coming here to the leadoff batter, Dahl. Bierman comes set, the kick, and the pitch. High, and he walked him. So Isaac Dahl reaches first on the walk. And that's the first walk of the ball game that Bierman has fired. That was on the 3-2 pitch. Hunter Keller, the shortstop, comes up. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Bierman checking the runner. Dahl over at first. Chasing it back to the bag with trouble with the baseball a bit. Peel over there. He had to go to a knee to field it. Didn't get by him, however, so no damage done. No balls, no strikes, 2 down for LaMoure here in the top half of the 3rd. High and outside for Hunter Keller as he sees that one in for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner at first, Isaac Dahl with a healthy lead. Bierman checked it back. He'll fire. High for ball number 2. Bierman behind in the count, 2-0. Takes some time on the hill. Adjusting the outfit, taking a little bit of a breather here with 5 strikeouts so far here today. Looks to see if he can get out of the inning. Swing and a miss on a heavy one there from Keller. Count moves to 2-1. LaMoure trying to close out the top half of the 3rd. Here's the windup and the pitch. High for ball number 3. And Bierman delivers that one outside the zone. Hunter Keller, the shortstop, once again 0 for 1 in the ball game here today. He batted in the first. That's in the number 2 spot. Here's the windup and the pitch, and he is walked. That will move Isaac Dahl over to second. Hunter Keller's now at first. And we have a new batter up, and Landon Saylor, the pitcher, will come up for his second at-bat to the ball game. 0 for 1 today here for Saylor. Mac Bierman's pitched himself into a bit of a hole here in the top half of the third. He'll fire back over to second. Checking Isaac Dahl, and Dahl was safely back in at second, standing up. So with 2 down, Mac Bierman trying to pitch out of a jam with runners on first and second. 0-0 ball game. High for ball number 1. Well, Bierman was bringing the stuff in innings 1 and 2. Not that he hasn't here in inning number 3, but he's starting to miss the strike zone quite noticeably with the 2 walks and back-to-back batters. That one fouled away, 1-1. Pretty good crowd on hand here today for the State Beat Tournament in game number 1. Good amount of fans from Hazen made the trip here today. Here's the windup and the swung on miss. Strike number 2. Pitcher against pitcher, righty against righty. Saylor against Bierman. The 1-2 pitch coming. This one knocked right back up the hole. It gets over the head. 1 run will come around for Hazen. 2 scores. Sliding in safely on his belly was Isaac Dahl. Another runner back across. Over at third. And safely in is Saylor. Well, this place is going bananas as Martell comes back to bat. 2 runs came around to score on the first hit of the ball game from Saylor, and he drives in the RBIs. Austin Martell was struck out his last at-bat. Bierman turns and fires. That was a curveball, caught the corner. Stepping out of the box was Martell. He thought it was going to hit him. And it curved right in for a strike. The 0-2 pitch coming for Bierman. Takes a look back over at Saylor at third. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the ball game for Austin Martell. That's the 5th strikeout of the contest for Mac Bierman. Damage was done as Hazen comes across to score 2 runs on 1 hit, 1 error for LaMoure. And at the end of 1.5 innings played, it's Hazen on top of this one. They lead 2-0 here at the State Meet Tournament. This is PSP Network's presentation of the State Class B. Don't go anywhere. This one just starting to get good.
This presentation of the State Class B Baseball Tournament is brought to you by American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep, Star City Golf Course of Elva, Stevens Grain Cleaning and Seed Sales of Glenburg, Homesteaders Restaurant, Fibeto Orthodontics, Western Agency, S&J Hardware of Garrison, Chase Pharmacy of Garrison, Henson's Fur and Leather, West Inksters Realty, Garrison Insurance, Kurt Unland Company, Planet Pizza, Tires Plus, and Don Bassett Motors.
Well, this place came to volume after the bat of Landon Saylor went to work. He got all the way over to third base. There was 2 errors charged on the play to LaMoure. Nevertheless, 2 runs came across to score, and Hazen leads 2-0 as we enter the bottom half of the third inning with the American flag now blowing from the left field fence over towards the right, draping just a bit. The sun's back out. What a beautiful day for baseball. Hazen enjoying it that much more now as they have a 2-0 lead. Alex Cleaver will come up for his second at-bat here in the ball game. Cleaver's 0 for 1. Cleaver, the DH and leadoff batter, trying to see if he can't close the gap on the 2-run lead that Hazen has built. Here's the windup of the pitch. This one's going to go right over towards Martell. Got through his legs, and Cleaver's on for his first hit of the contest. And Cleaver now 1 for 1 here as he reaches on the single. Jace Hansen comes up next. Hansen, the center fielder. Hansen 1 for 1 here in the ball game today. He singled back in the first inning. Then he stole the base. He got all the way over to third. Missing was Saylor for ball number 1. 1-0 the count. Nobody out. Bottom half of the third inning. One hit for Hazen has resulted in 2 runs. LaMoure's mustered up 3 hits today, but they haven't scored a run. They've also committed 2 errors on the Planet Pizza scoreboard. Saylor takes a look back over at first at Cleaver. Here's the windup and the pitch. This ball will be fouled back up over the Hazen dugout, and the count moves to 2-1. Scott Cattell is here. He'll have the call of game number 2 today. That's Renville County and Thompson, the defending state champions. Thompson will take on Renville County at 3, and then at 5:30, Langdon and Velva play. That's going to be a Scott Cattell called game as well. I'll be back for the nightcap with Kidder County and Garrison. This ball's fouled back, goes way up and onto the roof here at legendary Corbett Field. We talk about the turf, first the grass. We were in Bismarck at Municipal Ballpark down in Bismarck over the week for the state AA tournament. And the grass field in Bismarck, old school if you will, but a newly renovated grandstand area with the press box and the seating down both baselines. Just a beautiful ballpark. You look at legendary Corbett. This ball's going to be tattooed by Jace Hansen out into right. And that will advance the runners, and Hansen has gone 2 for 2 now in the contest with the single. Potts comes up next. He's the shortstop. He also has a hit here in the ball game. One of the 4 hits. Potts' second at bat here. He singled in the first inning. The turf versus the grass. You just love that old school grass and the feel of that. You get that with many things here at Corbett Field. The grandstand built back in 1936. This place has been around for a long time. It's one of the historic parks that still remain across the state of North Dakota. There have been some upgrades done after the Sabre Dogs came in. Woodbat College League, if you will, summer baseball. First baseline and third baseline have some patio seating and some things like that. Here's the windup of the pitch. This ball's going to be hit hard. That's deep. Corbin Potts at the track, at the wall. That thing is out of here. Two runs will come around to score as Corbin Potts sent it and hit the warning track sand. It bounced then over the head of Bruner and out over the Sabre Dog side at 3:56 and left. And we've got a tied ball game. It's 2-2. The ground rule double there for Corbin Potts. That thing almost went yard. It did on the one hop. And we've got a tied baseball game. I'm sorry, we don't have a tied baseball game. Only one run advances on the ground rule double. My apologies. So a runner over at third. Cleaver came in to score. Jace Hansen now at third. And Corbin Potts sits at second with nobody down. Here's the windup and the pitch. This ball's driven hard. Mac Bierman fires it out to center. One run will come across to score. Now another. Bierman's off over towards third. Bierman's going to have the stand-up triple, and Bierman blasts one up over the head of Schneider out to the 410 mark at center. And we've got some dramatics here in the third inning. Both teams come alive as Mac Bierman sends that one for a 2 RBI triple. The ground rule double for Corbin Potts put him on second. It moved Jace Hansen over towards third. And then Mac Bierman gets up and cleans that up, and LaMoure has taken a 3-2 lead. That brings up Landon Peel. He walked with his first at-bat as Saylor will deliver. That one's high for ball number 1. Isaac Dahl thought about the throwdown over to third to Martell, but holding too tightly on the bag was the pinch runner for Mac Bierman. Swing and a miss as Landon Peel chased that one. Pinch runner for LaMoure over on third is number 21. That's Charlie Bowman. Here's the windup and the pinch. That one high and away. Ball number 2, 2-1 down the count. Nobody down here for Hazen. Bottom half of the third inning. And Landon Saylor trying to get himself out of a jam here. Here's the windup and the pinch. This one rocketed out through the gap between third and short. And the route is on for LaMoure. They have opened up a can here in this third inning. They've scored 4 runs. They've now registered 7 hits. Another run comes around to score. And that's the run that Bierman put on third. And Landon Peel with an RBI single has moved the score to 4-2. LaMoure on top. Garrett Hebel comes up. 0 for 1 in the ball game. The catcher facing Saylor. This one chopped over to second. That is a tailor-made double play ball. No, it's not. Over to first. And the one down as Garrett Hebel retired on the fielder's choice. Rory Genskow comes up next, the second baseman. Genskow in the ball game batted in the second inning where LaMoure went 1-2-3. Genskow is 0 for 1 here this afternoon. One down here for Hazen. The windup of the pitch. This one towered straight up. Calling for it, Saylor. He calls everybody else off, and now there's 2 down. Top of the order for LaMoure. Led things off here in the third. We're all the way down to Dalton Madkey. Saylor seeing his 8th batter here of inning number 3. 2 down. That one down to the dirt. Nice block there from Isaac Dahl. As Dalton Madkey steps in, he was struck out his last at bat. Saylor with 2 strikeouts so far in the ball game here today. His team Hazen trails by 2. 4-2 the score. Here's the windup of the pitch. That one down to the dirt. Dahl again blocks it and fires back up to Saylor. Two outs. Both teams open up their offense here in the third inning. 6 total runs have scored. Down to the dirt. Isaac Dahl blocks that one. That was an athletic play from Isaac. He got across, and that one had to have hurt just a bit. Looked like it caught him maybe in the belly. He's a little bit slow to get back behind the home plate dish. Saylor comes set. He agrees with the call from Dahl. Showing bunt now. Here is Madkey. Madkey turns off of it, but it's in for a strike. 3-1. 3-1 pitch coming to the right fielder, Dalton Madkey. Saylor takes a look back at the runner. Turns and fires, and ball number 4, the walk, as Madkey's going to gallop on over to first. 0 for 1 with a walk, and there's going to be a conversation at the hill for Hazen. We're going to take a step aside. This one must open in the third. 7 total hits for LaMoure, 1 for Hazen. 4 runs have scored for LaMoure, 2 here in the third inning for Hazen. 4-2 the score. 2 down. We'll come back with the rest of the third inning here on the PSP Network.
Is knocking the deals out of the ballpark. Now is the best time to trade in and trade up. We are urgently looking for good used vehicles and are giving top dollar on local trades. We sale priced our vehicles to move inventory fast, and financing rates have never been better. So don't strike out at another dealer. Get a home run deal at Don Bissett Motors on top of Minot's North Hill. Remember, we deliver.
Well, Hazen's bench boss, Nick Lights, comes out and has a conversation with Saylor. Basically saying, you've got the stuff to get us out of here. Let's not blow through the arm yet. With 2 down, he delivers strike number 1 on the foul tip there from James Sadsness. Saylor got the start here today for Hazen. He's been good, 2 strikeouts. He's walked 2 batters. Has given up 7 hits, however, here in the ballgame. No errors on Hazen so far through this 2 2/3 innings that have been played. Runners on first and second for LaMoure. They lead 4-2. Here's the windup and the pinch. This one swung on and missed. Strike number 2, and the count moves to 1-2. Here to the number 9 batter, James Sadsness. Sadsness could reach first base safely. They will bat it around here in the bottom half of the third. Saylor way off with that one outside, and reaching across his body. Dahl made a nice play to make sure the ball wasn't passed. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the third inning. LaMoure tried to add some sugar on top of a sweet bottom half of the third for them with 4 runs scored, but Saylor struck him out. Four runs on 5 hits. No Hazen errors, and LaMoure has taken the lead back. We've got a 4-2 ball game. LaMoure on top. It's State Bead Tournament coverage here on the PSP Network.
Is knocking the deals out of the ballpark. Now is the best time to trade in and trade up. We are urgently looking for good used vehicles and are giving top dollar on local trades. We sale priced our vehicles to move inventory fast, and financing rates have never been better. So don't strike out at another dealer. Get a home run deal at Don Bissett Motors on top of Minot's North Hill. Remember, we deliver.
This presentation of the State Class B Baseball Tournament is brought to you by American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep, Star City Golf Course of Elva, Stevens Grain Cleaning and Seed Sales of Glenburn, Homesteaders Restaurant, Fibeto Orthodontics, Western Agency, S&J Hardware of Garrison, Chase Pharmacy of Garrison, Henson's Fur and Leather, West Inksters Realty, Garrison Insurance, Kurt Unlin Company, Planet Pizza, Tires Plus, and Don Bissett Motors.
Top half of the fourth inning upon us here as Hazen returns to the dish here for the top half of the fourth, and the batter that you see is Garrett Ward, the first baseman. He struck out his first at bat here in the ballgame this afternoon. Mac Bierman firing 5 strikeouts in the contest this afternoon. His team, LaMoure, leads 4-2. The 1-1 pitch down in to the turf and away past the catcher, Hebel. And the count moves to 2-1. Well, thanks again for joining us here on the PSP Network this afternoon for the State Beat Tournament coverage. Once again, Scott Cattell will have games 2 and 3. I'll return for the nightcap tonight and game number 4 here tonight. Watch all these games here on the PSP Network. Garrett Ward will see the 3-1 pitch. That one down and away, and Ward will be walked for the first at-bat here in the fourth inning. Dawson Bruner, the left fielder, comes up next. He was a part of 3 strikeouts in a row that happened to end the first and starting the second. He was struck out his last at-bat. He steps in, the right-hander, with a runner on first base. Hazen trailing by 2. Here's the windup, down and away for ball number 1. Hey, if you're buying or selling a home, let 701 Realty's Andrew McKenna Goodman to make your experience a positive one. Browse their listings today at 701realty.com. 701 Realty, your home is here. Fired in for strike number 1, and the count goes to 1-1. Garrett Ward over at first for Hazen. Dawson Brunner, the left fielder, his second at bat here in the ball game this afternoon. Here's the windup of the pitch, swings and misses, and strike number 2 registered there. The count moves to 1-2. Well, Mac Bierman has been strong on the hill today. He's given up 1 hit. 2 runs have scored for Hazen here in the ball game. Will the big man run on a gas here this afternoon? That's the question mark for Hazen right now, as Garrett Ward sits at first with Dawson Brunner seeing the 1-2 pitch, chops it back. This one's going to roll up the third base line and foul. Well, the LaMoure catcher was all over that one. Hebel, along with Bierman, and the third baseman Peterson rushed in on it as well. They just let it go foul on the third base line on the opportunity there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're in the top half of the 4th inning of game number 1 here at the State B tournament. And LaMoure leads Hazen 4-2. Dawson Brunner steps back in with the 1-2 count. Bierman comes set. Here's the windup and the pitch. High and inside, going down to the third base line. Jacob Holman, the umpire. They use his expertise, and he says strike number 3 and mark up another K for Mac Bierman. That's number 6 on the day for Bierman. And the first out of the 4th inning belongs to Dawson Bruner. Mason Wick, the second baseman, comes up for his second plate appearance here in the ballgame. He's 0 for 1. He sees strike number 1. That curveball from Bierman has been salty here today at Corbett Field. Caught the inside corner. And the count goes to 0-1. 1 out. Runner at first base. That's Ward. As Mason Wick chops this one over towards second. Genskow scoops, delivers. He's up with it. And registers the second out as Mason Ward retired. Garrett Ward over to second, and Mason Wick was retired. So now with 2 outs here in the top half of the 4th inning, Levi Zempel, the right fielder, comes up for his second at-bat to the ballgame. He batted in the 3rd for the first time. He bats again here in the top of the 4th. He'll see strike number 1. Zempel followed by Schneider back to the top of the order with Isaac Dahl. Bierman with 6 strikeouts here in the ballgame. Trying to hang on to a 4-2 lead. This ball is going to be chopped back over to Peterson at third. He's up with it over towards first. And a nice scoop there from Peel. Scoops the baseball and stamps in and out. No runs on no hits in the top half of the 4th. No errors for LaMoure either, and we still have a 4-2 ball game. LaMoure on top. We head to the bottom half of the 4th. Baseball, the State B tournament coverage here on the PSP Network.
Systems go for lunch break when supper time's up front. You T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza.
This presentation of the State Class B Baseball Tournament is brought to you by American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep, Star City Golf Course of Elva, Stevens Grain Cleaning and Seed Sales of Glenburn, Homesteaders Restaurant, Vibeto Orthodontics, Western Agency, S&J Hardware of Garrison, Chase Pharmacy of Garrison, Henson's Fur and Leather, West Inksters Realty, Garrison Insurance, Kurt Unland Company, Planet Pizza, Tires Plus, and Don Bissett Motors.
Pitching change here for Hazen. Mason Wick comes into the ball game here for Hazen in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Wick will come in for Landon Saylor, who goes 3 complete. Saylor gives up 7 hits. 4 runs were scored. He ended up striking out 2. He walked 2. And there were 2 errors charged on Hazen. It landed Saylor's time on the hill. So Saylor moves over to third. Wick will move to the hill from second base. That brings Austin Martell over to second from third. Leading off here in the bottom half of the 4th inning, And seeing ball number 1 is the leadoff batter, Alex Cleaver, the DH. He's got a single here in the contest. 1 for 1 here this afternoon. 4-2 LaMoure leads. The windup of the pitch. This ball is going to be hit hard out to left. Bruner tracking it in front of the Minot's finest collision center side. And 1 down as Bruner gloved the shot from Cleaver. Brings up Jace Hansen, the center fielder. He's got a pair of singles in the ball game here today, batting from the left side. 1 down, bottom half of the 4th inning. We'll play a 7-inning game in each of these quarterfinal matchups here at the State B tournament. Here's the windup of the pitch. Fouled away for strike number 1. By the way, Diamond T Ranch is proud to bring you summer baseball on the PSP Network. Diamond T Ranch, home of premier Hereford cattle, just south of Minot. Diamond T Ranch can be viewed online at diamondtranchnd.com. That's diamondtranchnd.com. A big thank you to Diamond T Ranch, proud supporters of the PSP Network. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Chasing that one was Jace Hansen. And the 1-2 count. Sits down for the pitcher, Mason Wick. Here's the windup and the pitch. That one high for ball number 2, 2-2. Wick, the righty, will deliver on the 2-2 pitch. It's got some stuff on it, but it's outside. The count moves to full. Special thanks again to Homesteaders and Vibeto Orthodontics along with Western Agency, bringing you the ball games here at the State B tournament with many others. Here's a swung on ball that's going to move. It's a fair baseball, but it's going to be gloved by the first baseman, Ward. He'll glove it, bring it up, step on the bag, and the second out here in the 4th inning belongs to Jace Hansen. Corbin Potts, the shortstop, comes up next here for LaMoure, standing on the 4-2 lead. Potts had the ground rule double. The baseball went over the fence. He's going to chop this one towards third. Glove nicely. It's going to be scooped, delivered to first. How about the play from Saylor? And Saylor will toss it across the diamond. No runs on no hits. There in the bottom half of the 4th inning, we still have a 4-2 baseball game here on the PSP Network. Round number 1 has been exciting so far. This is just game 1 of 4 here today. 4-2 LaMoure on top. It's State Class B baseball here on the PSP Network.
Is knocking the deals out of the ballpark. Now is the best time to trade in and trade up. We are urgently looking for good used vehicles and are giving top dollar on local trades. We sale priced our vehicles to move inventory fast, and financing rates have never been better. So don't strike out at another dealer. Get a home run deal at Don Bissett Motors on top of Minot's North Hill. Remember, we deliver.
This presentation of the State Class B Baseball Tournament is brought to you by American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep, Star City Golf Course of Elva, Stevens Grain Cleaning and Seed Sales of Glenburg, Homesteaders Restaurant, Vibeto Orthodontics, Western Agency, S&J Hardware of Garrison, Chase Pharmacy of Garrison, Henson's Fur and Leather, West Inksters Realty, Garrison Insurance, Kurt Unland Company, Planet Pizza, Tires Plus, and Don Bissett Motors.
We move to the top half of the 5th inning, 4-2 ball game. On hand today here at legendary Corbett Field. Hazen back to the dish as strike number 2 will be fired in from Mac Bierman. Bierman started today here for LaMoure. He's got the distance for LaMoure, sitting on 6 strikeouts with 1 walk batter here in the ballgame. He faces Schneider. Schneider swings on this one, and it's going to go up the third base line, but that ball is foul. Schneider is one of those strikeouts that Bierman has. This is just the second at bat here for Brandon Schneider in the ballgame, the center fielder. He batted in the 3rd. And here we are in the 5th, and strikeout number 7 on the day for Mac Bierman. Second one for Schneider. Well, Bierman's got some gusto on it, and he fires that one past Schneider for the 7th strikeout of the ballgame. We go back up to the top of the order with Isaac Dahl, the catcher. Reached the base on an error in the first inning. He was walked in the second, so he's reached first twice here in the ballgame. 0 for 0, however, in the contest. Bierman comes set, the windup of the pitch. That one down on the turf. Ball number 2, 2-0. Fargo Post 2 defeated Bismarck last night. They put it on them, so Fargo Post 2 is the only team remaining in the AA state tournament without a loss. That happening Municipal Ballpark in Bismarck right now. Look out, bat comes flying out of the hands of the leadoff batter, Isaac Dahl. Players in the dugout for Hazen were, everybody's okay, by the way. They were looking at the foul baseball that was sent foul back behind home plate. It hit the netting here at Corbett Field, and that baseball bat came flying over right towards the dugout here on the left side where Hazen makes their home for game number 1. The 2-1 pitch coming to Dahl. Strike number 2. And Bierman with some more stuff on that one. 28-5 on the year. This is a baseball team in Hazen that isn't too familiar with losing. They're also not too familiar with being in a trailing position. Strikeout number 8 on the afternoon as Isaac Dahl sits down swinging. Hunter Keller comes up next. 0 for 1 with a walk in the ballgame. 2 down. That one misses outside for ball number 1. Special thanks again to Kurt Unlin Company from Lansford, Garrison Insurance, West Inkster Realty of Garrison, and Henson's Fur of Leather from Huron-Monett. That one finds the gap right up through the hole, and getting over to first is Hunter Keller for his first hit of the ballgame. That one got past Bierman and Genskow, right past the second base, and that brings up Landon Saylor. He's got an RBI and a triple in the ballgame here today with 2 down. They need him in a big way. Saylor pitched 3 innings. He gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 errors on Hazen. What can he do on the offensive side of the baseball? Here's the windup from Bierman to the pitch, strike number 1. The 0-1 pitch coming to Landon Saylor, batting in the number 3 spot with 2 down. Hazen looking for the 2-out rally. Bierman looking for strikeout number 9 on the day. This one sent back and foul. Count moves to 0-2. It's been fun to watch Bierman work on the hill here this afternoon. He's a bigger player that can play all positions. Top pitching arm on the team by the sounds of it. You can see that by the looks of it. He's got a fastball and he's got some stuff as well. 9 strikeouts on the day. He's going to shake off the call from Hebel. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Runner goes. This ball's tattooed over towards third. Hit the third baseman. Scooped and then fired over to first. We're going to have a throw at third. Here comes a throw down. That ball's going to get by. And now with runners on first and second, Saylor gets on over to second. And we'll have an error on the play with 2 down. Runners on second and third. And up slowly is Hunter Keller over at third base. Landon Saylor's going to reach first on the error. And the error will be charged to the third baseman after gobbling up the baseball the way he did. So E5. Reaching on the error. That brought Hunter Keller over to third. Then the ball is going to be launched out into left. There with the play for LaMoure, and Sansness puts an end to the inning. No runs on 1 hit, 2 errors charged here to LaMoure. At the end of 4 innings played, 4.5 played, I should say. It's a 4-2 ball game. LaMoure still on top. This is coverage of the State Meet Tournament here on the PSP Network.
This presentation of the State Class B Baseball Tournament is brought to you by American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep, Star City Golf Course of Velva, Stevens Grain Cleaning and Seed Sales of Glenburg, Homesteaders Restaurant, Fibeto Orthodontics, Western Agency, S&J Hardware of Garrison, Chase Pharmacy of Garrison, Henson's Fur and Leather, West Inksters Realty, Garrison Insurance, Kurt Unland Company, Planet Pizza, Tires Plus, and Don Bissett Motors.
Opening game of the State B tournament here in Minot, North Dakota. For North Dakota, Class B baseball has not disappointed here in game number 1. Nick Holbrook for the call here on the PSP Network. Glad to have you aboard. Game number 2 comes up next. Scott Cattell will have the call here on the PSP Network. Game number 2 features the defending champion Thompson taking on Renville County from right here near the Magic City. Strike number 1 delivered there to Mac Bierman. Bierman's 1 for 2. He was struck out in the first inning. Then he had the 2 RBI triple in the third. Some stuff on that one. Fired in from Mason Wick. Said it missed, 1-1. Here's the windup and the pitch. That one's going to be hit by Bierman up the third base line, but foul. The curveball was sent for a ride there by Mac Bierman. Well, LaMoure is a baseball team that, again, comes into this tournament. Bierman thought about that one. Comes into this tournament at 20-10. They won district number 10. District number 7, I'm sorry. There's the windup of the pitch. That one down and away. They play in Region 3 during the high school seasons. State champs in 72, 2007, and 2009. Bierman sends that one down the third base line, but foul. The count comes full to the big man, Mac Bierman, who's gone the distance on the hill today here for the LaMoure baseball team that has the 4-2 lead. Here's the windup and the pitch to Bierman outside, and Bierman's walked. So he struck out, he's walked, and he's also got a 2 RBI triple to his name on the contest here today. That brings up Landon Peel, the first baseman. He's got an RBI single, and he walked. He's 1 for 1. Peel also a big man. He steps in on the right side as well. Pinch runner in here for the LaMoure over at first base for the pitcher, Bierman. Sorry, I don't have a number for you. This ball delivered outside for ball number 1 for Peel. Number 11 is in the pitch round. That's Easton Hagen for LaMoure. Zach Fieldgis, rather. Fieldgis, he's going to steal second. Fieldgis slides in safely over at second. Throwdown came from Isaac Dahl, but not in time. So the runner at first, Fieldgis will steal. Landon Peel still sits in the box with the 1-1 count. Healthy lead over at second. With the 1-1 count, nobody down. Here's the windup and the pitch. This ball's going to be smacked. This one deep out to left. Tracking it there is Bruner. Bruner gloves it, and he'll fire it back into the playing surface. That ball, when it left the bat from Peel, looked like it had a chance. It did not. And the first out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning belonged to Landon Peel. Garrett Hebel, the catcher, comes up. He's 0 for 2 here in the ball game today. Hebel batting from the right side, facing Mason Wick. This one's going to be hit hard out to center, tracking it there, and with the glove making the play is Schneider. Runners off to third, and sliding into third safely. That's actually number 21. That's Charlie Bowman. Bowman's the base runner. He slid into third after he tagged after the ball was Flied out there by Garrett Hebel. Rory Genskow, the second baseman, comes up next at Genskow. Look out, they're going to walk over and touch second base. They're going to say the runner on second base did make the tag. That's what it was there for. So as you saw, Dean Winchesky, the home plate umpire, came out. Hazen was arguing that the player on second base, Bowman, didn't tag. It was then declared that he did by Jacob Holman, the first base umpire, or the umpire that stands at first. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 out. Bottom half of the 5th. LaMoure leading 4-2 here on Hazen. Here's the hit that comes from Genskow. Over to second, delivered to first, off the glove of Wick. And at the end of 5 played, we still have a 4-2 ball game. LaMoure on top. State Beat coverage here on the PSP Network is provided by all these fine sponsors you'll hear next. We hope you patronize these places and tell them thanks for their support. Without them, we wouldn't be here. 4-2 ball game. Let's go to the 6th. LaMoure on top.
This presentation of the State Class B Baseball Tournament is brought to you by American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep, Star City Golf Course of Elva, Stevens Grain Cleaning and Seed Sales of Glenburg, Homesteaders Restaurant, Fibeto Orthodontics, Western Agency, S&J Hardware of Garrison, Chase Pharmacy of Garrison, Henson's Fur and Leather, West Inksters Realty, Garrison Insurance, Kurt Unland Company, Planet Pizza, Tires Plus, and Don Bassett Motors.
No runs on no hits. Bottom half of the 5th for LaMoure. They still lead 4-2 here at legendary Corbett Field in Minot, North Dakota. Nick Colbert, glad to have you aboard here on the PSP Network for State B tournament coverage. We'll have all the games today here from the opening round. Scott Cattell will take the mic next for games number 2 and 3. I'll be back here tonight. Leading off for Hazen in the top half of the 6th and sending one for a ride. It's number 12, Garrett Ward. Ward's 0 for 1 with a walk here today. He batted in the 2nd inning, he batted in the 4th, and he comes back up here in the 6th. It's a 4-2 ball game. LaMoure's on top. Ward, the number 5 batter for this Hazen lineup. And strike number 2 is delivered here by Bierman. 8 strikeouts on the day for Bierman. Here's the windup in the pitch. This ball sent back over towards third. It's going to be fired, and a collision at first base, and a big one. Baseball came out, and look out. Runner is down. Garrett Ward in all sorts of pain on the first baseline. Time's going to be called, but the runner was declared safe over at first. So some time as Trinity Sports Medicine comes out. Trinity Sports Medicine comes out for help. Scott Cattell up here in the booth asking if you can find clarification for me, Scott, if Austin Martell was struck out his last at bat. Thank you, Scotty. They'll change the number. The reason that matters, I just want to make sure that we have it right. With Mac Bierman having 8 strikeouts in the ball game right now, I want to make sure that Mac doesn't have 9 instead of 8. Austin Martell was the last batter retired in the top of the 5th. Trinity Sports Medicine's job is done. And over at first, it's Dawson Brunner Garrett Ward 2.12. 12.2 that hops up. He gives a little pat to the back of Peel. That was a collision, just one of those bang-bang plays that wasn't intentional by any means. Happened to happen that way. Here's Dawson Brunner, the left fielder. He's been struck out twice in the ballgame. 0 for 2 with his appearances here in the opening round of the State B tournament. Flag out at center field, completely still. Sun's out and shining. 82 degrees at the start of the ball game today. It's only going to get warmer as the afternoon continues. Here's the windup of the pitch. Runner looking to steal second, sliding down safely over into second. And on his horse getting there with a stolen base was Garrett Ward. So Ward slides into second, feet first and safely after his collision over at first with the big first baseman for LaMoure, Peel. We have an 0-1 count here to Dawson Bruner. There's nobody out. We're the top half of the sixth. Then LaMoure leads Hazen 4-2. Hazen is at bat. Sweet chin music there from Bierman. It was a strikeout that ended the inning for Martell, so that makes strikeout number 9 on the day here for Bierman. Here's the windup in the pitch. That one hammered back, get foul. Strike number 2. Nine strikeouts on the day for the big man back, Bierman. What an outing this has been for him. Here's the windup coming in the pitch. Curveball caught the corner. Strikeout number 10 on the day. And Bruner sits down looking. That brings up Mason Wick. Moved from second base to the hill for Hazen after the third inning. He'll fall the first one back. And with an 0-1 count and one down, the runner over at second. Garrett Ward trots back over to second base. Beautiful day for baseball here at legendary Corbett Field. We talked about this place being built back in 1936. Talk about the history here with the Minot Mallards and the Sabre Dogs, Minot Greenheads, teams that came in from outside of Minot for leagues that were built around here. Then you look back at Minot High School playing here. Look at Minot State playing here. The throwback over and chasing Ward back was Bierman at second. He was safe. Then you look at all the time that Class B tournaments and games and tournaments have been played here. What this field has seen. Strike number 2 to Mason Wick. Bierman looking for strikeout number 11 on the day. His team's on top 4-2. It's LaMoure over Hazen here in the sixth. Strikeout number 3 caught him looking. And Bierman's on a different planet. Somebody sign this kid. He is throwing some heat here today. Off to BSC to play. And now there's going to be a conversation at the hill as walking out towards the pitching mound. Here comes the head coach of LaMoure, J.R. Thilgis. Will the day be done on pitch count here for Bierman? If that is the case, an excellent outing here for the young man for LaMoure. We'll keep it right here and thank our fine sponsors, American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep, Star City Golf Course of Elba, Stevens Grain Cleaning and Seed Sales of Glenburn, Homesteaders Restaurant, Libetta Orthodontics, Western Agency, S&J Hardware, Chase Pharmacy, Henson's Fur and Leather, West Inkster Realty, Garrison Insurance, and Kurt Unley Company. Bierman's afternoon on the hill is done. He goes 5 2/3 innings pitched. He only gives up 2 hits. No errors. With 5 errors in the ball game. He gives up 2 runs. And he has 10 strikeouts to his name on the day. It's a hell of a performance for the young man here from LaMoure. LaMoure will now send number 13 to the hill to see if he can close this one out today with the lead. So coming into pinch, Rory Genskow. Jenskow, infield and pitching is his main positions out of the year. BSC's got a great pitcher coming to him in Mac Bierman. They should feel fortunate that they've got the big man from LaMoure that will be in attendance at BSC next year because he could throw some heat and he's got some stuff that curves as well. Warm-up pitch is taking place. We're going to get right back into it as Levi Zempel, the right fielder, comes to bat here for the Hazen Astros. 2 down. 4-2 lead for LaMoure. Here's the windup of the pitch. Jenskow's first pitch is a ball. Pass ball is going to get past the catcher, Hebel. And the runner will advance over to third. That's Garrett Ward. So with the runner on third base, tying run represented by Levi Zempel. He's in the batter's box right now here for Hazen. The 2-0 pitch, that one outside for ball number 3. There are 10 strikeouts for Bierman. It's hard to follow up. 11 strikeouts for Bierman. It's hard to follow up that performance. In with strike number 1 is Jenskow. And the Canadian Pacific is back out in left field. Traveling across. Ball number 4, the batter's walk. Zempel will make his way over to first. Runners down the corners brings up Brandon Schneider, the center fielder, He's been struck out twice in the ball game today. Part of Bierman's excellent pitching performance, where he struck out 11 Hazen batters in this opening round affair. Runners on the corners, 4-2. LaMoure leads. In for strike number 1. Brandon Schneider sees the 0-1 pitch. Rory Jenskow comes in. He'll deliver again. That one missed the corner on the outside. He's throwing some heat. And ball 1, 1-1 the count here with 2 down. Jenskow comes set, the windup of the pitch. That one down and away. Ball number 2, 2-1. American flag out at center, starting to blow from the left to the right field. Fences, this one's going to be chipped back and fouled. Up the third base line, 2-2 down the count. Here with 2 down. Game number 1 here of our tournament. And our tournament coverage here on the PSP Network. Don't forget to like the PSP Network on Facebook. Strike number 3. And for the third time today, Brandon Schneider is struck out. Jenskow picks up a strike out here in the afternoon, and he remains with the lead. His team on top, 4-2. No runs, no hits, no LaMoure errors. 4-2 as we enter the bottom half of the 6th. State tournament coverage of the Class B state tournament is here on the PSP Network.
PSP Network has one mission: promoting our local athletes while delivering pro-quality broadcast coverage. Stay up to date with the PSP Network on Twitter @NetworkPSP and on Facebook @The PSP Network. Like and follow our social media for your chance to win. PSP Network, it's game day. This presentation of the State Class B Baseball Tournament is brought to you by American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep, Star City Golf Course of Velva, Stevens Grain Cleaning and Seed Sales of Glenburn, Homesteaders Restaurant, Fibeto Orthodontics, Western Agency, S&J Hardware of Garrison, Chase Pharmacy of Garrison, Henson's Fur and Leather, West Inksters Realty, Garrison Insurance, Kurt Unland Company, Planet Pizza, Tires Plus, and Don Bissett Motors.
Leading things off here in the bottom half of the 6th inning for LaMoure is Dalton Madke, the right fielder. He'll foul the first pitch back for strike number 1. Well, the action in this contest really came in the 3rd inning. That's where all the runs were scored. 2 first for Hazen in the top half of the 3rd. Then LaMoure ended up tacking on 4 to take the lead back at 4-2. That's where we sit. The 0-2 pitch coming. This one down in the dirt after it fell off of a table on the pitch there from Mason Wick. First ball registered there, 1-2 now the count. 1-2 pitch coming to Madke. 0 for 1 with a walk here in the ball game today. Here's the windup and the pitch. This ball is going to be skied back up over our heads here at legendary Corbett Field. Over the grandstand, it falls back into play. The on deck circle, number 4, James Sadsness. Almost got it. You heard his LaMoure teammates giving him a hard time after the miss. That one fell off a table as well, but it's in for a ball. 3-2 now the count. Or is it 2-2? 2-2 is the count on the scoreboard here at Corbett Field. My apologies. That one missed down and away. Now the count goes to full at 3-2. Crowd continues to fill in here at Corbett Field for state tournament coverage. This ball is going to be fouled off the bat of Sadsness. He stays alive with the 3-2 count. 7 hits for LaMoure in the ball game. 2 for Hazen. Here's the windup in the pitch. Ball number 4. That will walk Madke.
Left fielder number 4, James Sadsness.
Sadsness comes back up. He's 0 for 2 here in the ball game today. He's going to fall the first one away. 0-1 the count. Sent it up the first base line, but it rolled foul. Once again, we'll have tournament coverage of the entire State Meet Tournament. Day number 1. We'll have the semifinals and the championship. We'll also have all the games that Velva takes part in, Renville County and Garrison. The 0-1 pitch shows bunt, rolls up, first base line, on it, Wick tosses over, and one's retired as the sacrifice bunt from James Sadsness will advance the runner over to second, Madke. Alex Cleaver comes back up, the designated hitter. One for 3 in the ball game here with a single to his name in the contest. The runner on second, that's Madke over at second with a healthy lead. Taking a look back was Wick. Here's the windup of the pitch. That one high for ball number 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. We're in the top half of the 6th inning. We'll play 7 today here in round number 1. Sticking in there was Cleaver. He almost got hit by the pitch. That curveball turned right at the last moment and missed him. 2-0 pitch coming. Here with 1 down. Boisterous fans here at the State Meet Tournament fouled away. First strike at this at bat. Count moves to 2-1. So stepping back in is Alex Cleaver, the designated hitter. Cleaver, the DH. Peterson, the one that's playing the infield, wearing number 23 and playing third base. Here for LaMoure today, that's not in the hitting rotation. Of course, they were able to do that as the pitcher who started today, Mac Bierman. They want him batting. He's their cleanup batter. Here's the windup and the 3-1 pitch. Strike number 2. Got the corner from Mason Wick. Count comes full. Here's the payoff pitch with 1 down from Wick. And the batter is walked. So that with runners on first and second. That will bring up Jace Hansen. Madke's at second. Cleaver's at first. Jace Hansen, the center fielder, comes up. got a pair of singles in the ball game. He's got a stolen base. He's got 2 for 3. Jace Hansen, the center fielder, has had a great outing here today for LaMoure. Batting from the left side of the dish. Here's the windup and the pitch. Down and away, thinking about it. Both runners are held there. As back up with the baseball is Hebel. And Hebel back up with it. In time to hold the runners at first and second. The 1-1 pitch coming. Here to Jace Hansen. He's going to send that one hard out towards right. It's going to go all the way to the fence. It bounces. 1 run will score for LaMoure. Around comes another. Over towards third. Sliding in safely and then touched. He's out. Jace Hansen drives in 2 RBIs, gets over to third, and then he's tagged out on the triple as he slid in safely to third base. He came up and his foot came off the bag and he was tagged out there, but 2 runs score. And now we've got a 6-2 ball game as LaMoure's in the driver's seat as Corbin Potts, the shortstop, comes back up. 8th hit of the ball game. 2 RBIs and the triple there for Jace Hansen. He came off the bag and he was tagged out on third. Corbin Potts has got an RBI to his name today on the ground rule double. That one hit the fence or went over the fence. Back in the 3rd inning. He's back on, and with the single, Corbin Potts has a pair of singles, the ground rule double, and an RBI in the baseball game. 1 runner on first. That's Potts. Bierman comes back to the dish. 2 RBI triple. He struck out and he was walked once in the ball game today. There'll be a pinch runner over at first coming in. And for LaMoure, that will be number 11, Easton Hagen.
Pinch runner on first, number 11, Easton Hagen.
2 down. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 6-2 lead down for LaMoure as they start to pour it on here in the 6th. They scored 4 runs in the 3rd. They've scored 2 runs here in the 6th inning, 8 total hits. And good for them. Offensively, they've been good because defensively, they've given up 5 errors in the ball game. Only 2 hits and 2 runs. That's how we get to the 6-2 lead. Bierman, the starting pitcher, who came out in the last inning with a heavy cut. He swings and misses. The 1-1 pitch coming to Bierman. The windup of the pitch. Heavy cut again. He's swinging for the fences, and that one beat him for a strike. Second strike of this at-bat. The 1-2 pitch coming. Here with 2 down. Here's the windup and the pitch. That one fouled back. He stays alive. And the cut remains 1-2. Well, a good crowd here in the grandstand at legendary Corbett Field. The green seats here at Corbett, not at capacity, but they're filling up without a doubt. Third base line and first base line, not quite full by any means. Bierman towers that one up over towards right, calling for it, Zempel, and that's how the inning comes to an end. Two runs will score on 1 registered hit. 1 Hazen error. At the end of 6 innings complete, the score reads 6-2. LaMoure on top of Hazen. State Class B baseball tournament coverage out here on the PSP Network.
This presentation of the State Class B baseball tournament is brought to you by American Family Insurance agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep, Star City Golf Course of Elva, Stevens Grain Cleaning and Seed Sales of Glenburg, Homesteaders Restaurant, Fibeto Orthodontics, Western Agency, S&J Hardware of Garrison, Chase Pharmacy of Garrison, Henson's Fur and Leather, West Inksters Realty, Garrison Insurance, Kurt Unland Company, Planet Pizza, Tires Plus, and Don Bassett Motors.
4 runs scored in the third, 2 in the sixth, 6 total for LaMoure. They lead this baseball game 6-2. Hazen scored their 2 runs back in the third inning. They took the lead. Hazen now has their final chance here in this ball game to tie it up. They need 4 runs here in the top half of the 7th inning. They will lead things off here with Isaac Dahl. He's their leadoff batter. Dahl reached first base on an error in the first. He was walked in the third, then he struck out in the 5th. He returns to the plate here for the 4th appearance in the 7th, and he'll see ball number 1. Once again, stick around for the baseball game that follows this one. Game number 2 from state tournament here today. Thompson taking on Renville County. Scott Cattell will have the call for you here on the PSP Network. In for a strike, and the count moves to 1-1. The windup of the pitch, big swing and a miss. And strike number 2. As Rory Jenskow delivers in. For the second strike, count moves to 1-2. Here's the windup coming in the pinch. This one's going to be tattooed back. It's gloved by the shortstop. Potts delivers to first, and out number 1 is in the books here in the 7th. Hunter Keller, the shortstop, comes up next. He was walked once today, then he's gone 1 for 2 other than that with a single in the baseball game. Keller needs the 1-out rally to start with him. They need 4 runs to stay alive if they want to keep those hopes for a state championship in their sights. With a 28-5 record on the year, they were a team that came in with one of the lowest losses on the season in that loss column. It's an excellent season at 28-5. Here's the windup and the pitch, down and away, ball number 2. 2-0 count here to Hunter Keller. Here's the windup and the pitch. That one catches the corner on the outside. And 2-1. Hazen fans didn't like that one very much from Dean Winchesky. The 2-1 pitch. This ball tattooed back up the hole. And over to first is Keller with the stand-up. Rounded first. Came back over and decided to sit with the single. Austin Martell, the third baseman. Landon Saylor, the pitcher, comes up next, followed by Martell, the third baseman. Saylor steps in. Yet an RBI triple to his name. He reached on an air. This one's going to be popped straight up after it hit the catcher, rounding over at second. And the runner advances. That's Hunter Keller now at second base. Pass ball there. And the count sits at 1-0. One for 2 while reaching first on the air here in the ball game for Landon Saylor, who was the starting pitcher. Saylor pitched 3 innings, gave up 7 hits and 4 runs, 2 errors with 2 strikeouts and 2 walks to his name. He's going to tattoo that one out towards right. It's over the head of the center fielder. Saylor's going to round first. He's over to second. 1 run comes around to score, and the stand-up double is good enough for an RBI, and Saylor brings the game back within 3. RBI double for Saylor. Now Austin Martell comes up. The stat line that's his worst nightmare here at the state tournament. He batted in the first and struck out. Batted in the third and struck out. He batted in the 5th and struck out as well. 3 straight strikeouts for Austin Martell, their cleanup hitter. He does seem to have some power. Batting in that number 4 spot, he sees strike number 1, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch to Martell. Fouls it back, and he makes contact with the baseball. Comes over the roof here at Corbett Field. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Trying to avoid being struck out for the 4th time in the ballgame. Reaches for it. Chipped over towards third. Glove delivered back at first. Gloved. And there's 2 down. Well, that moves Saylor over to third. But Garrett Ward, the first baseman, needs to reach at least first to keep the baseball game alive. 2 down. Ford steps in, thought about it. Half a cut, ball number 1. They go back over. Dean Wincheski looks over at the first base umpire, Jacob Holman, after the request of the catcher. They said ball number 2 this time as well. 2-0 pitch. Coming here to Garrett Ward. There's a strike delivered for strike number 1. Hazen's hopes of a state championship are 1 out away. Here is firing is Jenskow. He delivers in for 3-1 the count. We've got a hornet up here in the press box. That's never good. Tried to track down Scott Cattell because Scotty's so sweet at saying. No reaction on a Scott Cattell at all. 3-1 pitch with 2 down. Here to Garrett Ward. The windup and the pitch. This one fouled back and the count comes full. Now LaMoure is 1 pitch away from advancing to the semifinals here in the state tournament. Hazen scored twice in the 3rd, once here in the 7th. LaMoure scored 4 in the 3rd, 2 in the 6th. The baseball game's over on the strikeout. LaMoure advances. Hazen will move on to the consolation side of the bracket. We'll tell you how they did it. Final score 6-3. LaMoure advances here today in round number 1. Hang on tight. We'll come back for a quick post-game show and then get you geared up for game number 2 today. 6-3 is the final at state tournament coverage here on the PSP Network.
This presentation of the State Class B Baseball Tournament is brought to you by American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep, Star City Golf Course of Elva, Stevens Grain Cleaning and Seed Sales of Glenburg, Homesteaders Restaurant, Fibeto Orthodontics, Western Agency, S&J Hardware of Garrison, Chase Pharmacy of Garrison, Henson's Fur and Leather, West Inksters Realty, Garrison Insurance, Kurt Unland Company, Planet Pizza, Tires Plus, and Don Bissett Motors.
Planet Pizza postgame show from here in Minot at the State Meet Tournament. And it's LaMoure that gets a 6-3 win today over the Hazen Astros. Here's the stat line and how it reads at the end of the ball game. We go through 6.5 innings. Hazen musters up 3 runs on 4 hits. They commit 1 error in the ball game. It's Landon Saylor that's tagged with the loss after his 3 innings pitched. He gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 errors on the day with him on the hill. Winning pitchers Mac Bierman and LaMoure went for 6 runs on 8 hits. They committed 5 errors in the baseball game here today. Scott Cattell will have game 2 coming up for you right around 2:50 here this afternoon. So about 30 or 40 minutes away. Join us back here on the PSP Network as game number 2 from the state tournament here on the PSP Network will be delivered by Scott Cattell again at roughly 2:50 here today. Thanks for joining us here on the PSP Network. Thanks again to all those fine sponsors that make these games possible. LaMoure advances. Hazen falls to the loser's bracket. 6-3 is the final. I'm Nick Colbert signing off. Until later tonight,